Hello and welcome back to Modalities Movement Therapy. Today is part 4 of my inner movement series, and we are looking at diaphragmatic breathing to support better gut health. In this video, we're going to explore how diaphragmatic breathing can support better digestive health by shifting our bodies out of a fight and flight response into a rest and digest response. So your deep core line, which is your foundational support system of your body, begins in your feet and runs upward through the body via the fascial system. It's a dynamic, interconnected web that affects posture, movement, and internal organ function. This system doesn't work in isolation. It is closely linked with the autonomic nervous system. So this is the system that governs our stress response or our rest and digest response. So that's your sympathetic and your parasympathetic nervous system that make up the autonomic nervous system. In today's high stress world, many of us find ourselves stuck in that sympathetic dominance or pattern, and that's your fight or flight state. This restricts your diaphragm and the function of your diaphragm, and it puts strain on the muscles surrounding the diaphragm, as well as putting strain on the secondary respiratory muscles in the neck and the shoulders. This leads to shallow breathing, poor digestion, and poor core function. Through simple, effective breathing techniques in this video, we're going to release tension around the diaphragm and in these upper respiratory muscles. Shift ourselves out of a sympathetic state into a parasympathetic state so we can support better digestion, health, and functional core movement. By restoring the natural balance and the natural pattern of breathing, we can tap into a calm state where it supports healing, better digestion, and movement in this area. We're going to need a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you can use some cushions and a hard and a soft reflex ball. We're starting in standing. Take the ball under your right foot, and I'll mirror you. Let's roll from the big toe along the arch of the foot, which is part of your deep core line. So think about your balance, what a big part of your balance that big toe is. And bring the ball into the arch of the foot. Circle the ball in one direction and then change direction. Now we're going to push the ball still in the arch of the foot near the heel. So it's at the back of the arch, and lift the toes up slowly, very slowly. Roll the ball towards the ball of the foot, still in the arch, and you're now going to drop the heel, wrap or hug the ball with the toes, and just push into the ball. Just apply some pressure into the ball, bouncing forward and back. Let's do the same thing to the other side. So focusing on the deep core line from the big toe all the way along over the arch of the foot to the heel. And you get to the heel, you're going to slowly work your way back to the big toe. Toe to the heel. Now bring the ball into the arch of the foot and circle in one direction. Let's change direction. And then start with the ball close to the heel and just applying pressure into the ball. Now you're going to seesaw the foot and start lowering the heel as you slowly, very slowly, trying to get deeper, roll the ball towards the toes. Still in the arch of the foot, drop your heel, relax your toes and wrap your foot around the ball, applying pressure into the ball. Keep going, 4 and 3, 2 and 1. You can put the ball to the side. And let's just get into that breathing pattern. Relaxing the shoulders as much as you can. We don't want to breathe, like we mentioned, in that upper respiratory area. We want to breathe diaphragmatically. So not so much a belly breath where you push the belly button out. I want you to think of a horizontal breath. So bring the hands onto the rib cage and slowly breathing through the nose. We want to breathe through the nasal passages so we get a slower, calmer breath. And we're not opening the mouth, we're just going to focus on breathing in and out through the nose. So slowly breathe in for about 4 counts. Feel the rib cage expanding into that horizontal breath. We don't want a vertical breath using these muscles. We want a horizontal breath. Sometimes difficult if you have got a lot of tension around this area. So we're going to work on releasing that to bring ourselves more into that horizontal breath. So if you haven't already, exhale for about 4 counts. And then again, breathe in. And exhale. So you can almost use the heels of the hands to assist the rib cage dropping down. So think of the muscles, the intercostal muscles between the ribs. As you breathe in, they're going into an extended position, lengthening, and as you exhale, they're shortening. So from an eccentric contraction to a concentric contraction. Let's do the same thing, and we're going to stand lengthways on the mat. So you're going to relax your shoulders, breathe in. As you exhale, chin to your chest. Slowly roll down through the spine and just hang out there. So now you're in this rounded position. I still want you to focus on nasal breathing, so breathing in through the nose. 4 counts in, then you should feel yourself rise up a bit as things expand around the waist there, and then exhale. Try relax your arms down, relax your head so you're not looking forward, lengthening the back of the neck. Breathe in again and exhale. Walk down onto your hands and knees, and we're going to come into a supine position, so lying on your back, still focusing on the breathing. If your chin is in this extended position, you're taking strain in the neck, I want you to use your cushion or your yoga block to rest your head on. So you're in that neutral position there. The spine is in neutral, so we're not arching the back, we're not tucking the tailbone under. Keep the spine in its natural arch and bring your hands back onto your rib cage. Breathing in for 4 counts and then exhale. And you can use your hands to assist that exhalation. Breathe in again. 4 counts in. Now exhale. Okay, so you now have a gauge to test your breath. Now we've done the breathing, we're going to release everything, then we're going to go back and test that breathing again. We're going to start on those upper respiratory muscles. So sometimes if you suffer from reflux, acid indigestion, it could be as a result of being in your sympathetic breathing pattern. So you in that fight and flight response. So those muscles around the diaphragm and the diaphragm, that main muscle of respiration, are not activating when you're breathing. So it's keeping you here and affecting your digestion. So we're going to start with the ball, the soft reflex ball. You can also use your fist, make a fist, and use your knuckles and massage up and down your sternum. You can move a little bit from side to side. If you do have the soft reflex ball, you can use that ball, massage up and down, one hand or both hands, up and down the sternum. Massage the ball from side to side. While you're doing this, be aware of your breathing. Nice, slow, steady breath in and out through the nose. We're now going to take that soft reflex ball. We're going to tuck it under our shoulder. So I'm starting on my left side, and I'm going to bring the ball right next to the spine, between the shoulder blade and the spine. I'm resting my head in my right hand. So I'm tucking the ball right next to the spine, at the upper traps, there where the muscles lift and lower the shoulders. Head is in the hands, or in the hand, the right hand, and the elbow is bent. Hand is just resting above the shoulder. We're going to breathe in and circle that elbow up. You can come into a bit of an arch if that'll help you put a little bit more weight into the ball. Then exhale and circle the elbow down. Breathe in and exhale. Keep going, breathing in and exhale. Here we go for 3. And exhale. Breathing in for 4. And exhale. For 5. And exhale. 3 more. And exhale. And the last one, I want you to hold that elbow in the diagonal. You're lifting the back, keeping the tailbone on the mat. So both shoulder blades off the mat, and you're going to now wiggle the elbow up to the diagonal and move the ball around that area, releasing any tension there. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rock off the shoulder and release the ball. I'm just moving over to my right side. Take the ball, bring the ball underneath your right side, between the shoulder blade and the spine. Rest the head in your hand, in your left hand. Right hand is above the shoulder, and the elbow is bent. Breathe into your arch, extend the elbow, and then circle the elbow down to your waist. And I'm pushing my lower back into the mat as I come into that tuck. This is your exhalation. As you breathe in, you're opening up to the diagonal, and exhale. We're going to repeat this 6 more times. Breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Another 4 to go. And 3. 2 more. For the last one. Hold it in that lifted position. Lift the other shoulder blade off the mat, and let's rock a little bit from side to side, releasing that tension and moving the ball around. Let's take the ball, staying in the upper area. We're going to now bring the ball onto the occiput ridge. So you're resting the ball in your right hand. Then you're going to link your fingers and bring both hands under the ball. We're starting on the right side, so you're just going to move the ball to the right ear along the occiput ridge. So I'm not on my neck, I'm above my neck at the base of the skull. If your hair is getting in the way, then just support or take your hair out of your way with your left hand, and keeping the ball in the right hand, the palm, you're going to roll from the spine towards your right ear. Make sure the head is resting on the ball. So you're applying some deep pressure there so you can really effectively feel that release. Let's move over to the left side now. So you're going to support the ball in the left palm or on the left palm, head resting on the ball, and just keep your hair out of the way with your right hand and massage the ball. So the ball should be moving in the palm of the hand as you roll from side to side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Seated position, and we're going to position the ball between the shoulder blades on the spine. So I'm going to rest the ball on the mat, and I'm going to lower myself down onto the ball. So don't have it too high and don't have it too low. Bring your head back into your hands, and as you open up, I want you to try and feel where your tension is and adjust the ball accordingly. So the soft reflex ball is on the spine, and we're going to open up and breathe into this position. As you exhale, push down into the ball and exhale. Feel the rib cage dropping. Breathe in. So maybe just with one hand, feel the rib cage. As you exhale, you're pushing down into the mat and you're exhaling. Bring your head into both hands or back into both hands. And as we breathe in, you can come back into the arch. So I'm pushing a little bit more into that reflex ball. As you exhale, push down into the mat. Your next option you can progress towards, as long as you're making sure the head is resting in the hands and not taking any strain in the neck. You can push into a tuck position, into a crunch position, just to assist the breath out of the lungs. So you're coming into that tuck, you're tilting the pelvis slightly, pushing the breath out of the lungs. You're still in your exhalation, lower down onto the mat, and then you open up and breathe in. As you exhale, push the lower back down. Make sure head is resting in the hands and you lifting. Good, let's open up again. Breathe in. Exhaling. Into that lifted position as your second option. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling. Drop down onto the mat, then open up and breathe in. So both this movement and your exhalation, as you come into that lifted position, you're pushing deeper into the ball. Let's keep going. We're going to do 4 more. Breathing in and opening up. But remember that second option, that progression, is just an option. If you are taking strain anywhere in the shoulders or in the arms, then you just keep your head resting on the mat. Let's go for 3 more. Breathing in. Come into that crunch. Exhale. And lift. Release. Keep exhaling. My lower back's pushing into the mat. Now I'm breathing in and exhaling and lifting. Last one. Release. Breathe in and open up and exhale and lift. Lower yourself back. And let's take that ball out from underneath the spine. Taking the ball now, we're going to release the diaphragm. We're going to work with our fingers and tuck our fingers inside the rib cage to loosen up the diaphragm. Then we're going to move into what we call the iliac dungeon inside the right and the left hip bone, where we can loosen up this area as well. We're then going to take the reflex ball and we're going to work along the ascending, the transverse, and the descending colon to improve that digestive health. So let's start in a supine position. Take your fingers, relax yourself as much as you can. You'll find it quite difficult to get underneath the rectus abdominal muscles, that superficial layer that runs around the belly button. Start off at your waist and move your fingers. So you're going to tuck the fingers in and wiggle them from side to side. And you'll see when you get closer to the center, you might find it a little bit tricky to get into those muscles. Like I said, just try and relax as much as you can. You're going to move up and down from the waist towards the center, just loosening up in this area. Tucking those fingers right in. Now we're going to work inside the hip bones. So you can either use your thumbs and just massage inside the hip bones, or you can use your fingers, your index, your middle, and your ring fingers, and push them inside your hip bones just to loosen up this area as well. From here, we're going to take our right hand. So I'm going to start on my right side. So if you can work directly onto the skin, do so. Take your right hand and anchor your hip bone with your left fingers. So I'm working directly onto the skin. I'm going to breathe in and I'm going to slide my foot away. So I'm lengthening the leg as I slide my fingers up to the rib cage. So I'm creating what's called a two-directional pull. I'm lengthening in this area. And then I'm going to release and bring the foot back, bending the knee. Bring the fingers back inside the rib cage. On this movement, sliding the hand and the up and the foot away, you're going to breathe in. We're creating space so we can breathe into that space. Then exhale and bend the knee, bring the hand back to the hip bone. Breathe in again. Lengthen out. Exhale and release. We're just going to do one more, breathing in and lengthen out. And exhale and release. I'm going over to my left side. So I'm going to take my right hand and anchor my hip bone at the right with the right hand. Then I'm going to take my left hand inside the hip bone and I'm going to breathe in. Lengthen the fingers up to the rib cage and extend the leg. Exhale and release. Another 3 to go. Breathing in, lengthen out and exhale. You can keep the foot resting on the mat as you slide the foot back up into that bent position. Exhale, bend the knee. Your last one, breathing in, slide the fingers up and exhale and release. Okay, coming back to the center, you can take your reflex ball again. Lengthen your legs if you want to. Keep your spine in a neutral position. Take the right hand on the ball. You're starting on the right side because that's your ascending colon. And you're moving up inside the right rib cage. So don't go over the rib cage, inside the rib cage. Moving around along the transverse colon to the left side and down the descending colon into the left hip bone. Let's do that again. Circle around. Take it nice and slow. If you feel tension anywhere, then you're going to hold it on that area for a few seconds and then move on. Finish off with one more. Around, across, and down. Okay, bending the knees, bringing the feet flat. We're going to now take the ball onto the spine in line with the hip bones. So So we're just getting a little bit of movement into our arch and our tuck. You can rest your head in your hands if you want to, unless you're using the block to support the head. Arms at the sides is another option. We're breathing in. Ball is on the spine in line with the hip bones. We're now pushing into the ball and you're coming into a tuck position. So you're tilting the pelvis under, bringing the hip bones closer to the rib cage. Let's arch and breathe in again. Exhale to tuck. If you are taking strain in the back, then you just continue with this movement, breathing in, 4 counts in, and now trying to exhale for a little bit longer. Exhale, exhale, exhale. I want you to challenge yourself if you can by running the feet. So we're exhaling in this position. So this is a good way to extend your exhalation. Dropping the rib cage. Both feet need to be on the mat, and once they're on the mat, then you can breathe in. As you exhale, push and run the feet. Keep exhaling. Drop the feet. We're going to do 2 more. Breathing in and exhale. Rib cage drops. Only once the rib cage is dropped and you're pushing into the ball, then run the feet and continue your exhalation. Finish off with 1 more. And exhale. And run the feet. Release the feet and come back into a neutral position. You can lift your lower back off the ball. Continuing along the deep core line, we know from the big toe along the inside of the legs, over the diaphragm, moving upwards with that fascial connection. I'm taking the ball in the right hand and I'm going to cross my right ankle over my left knee and I'm going to roll along the inner thigh on the right side. You can support your head in the hand, use your cushion or use your block to support your head if you want to. And let's continue rolling from side to side, circular motions along that deep core line. Do another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Staying on the right side, bring the ball behind the right knee. Extend your left leg out. Link your fingers and bring them onto the shin. As you breathe in, I want you to lengthen your arms, but just let the arms lengthen on their own as you push the shin into the hands. Breathe in this position. As you exhale, squeeze the ball and bounce that knee towards the chest. Remember, it's a slow, steady breath. We don't want to suddenly breathe in. We want slow inhalation. Push against the shin, against the hands. Let the shin push against the hands. And then exhale. And bounce. Try and exhale for a little bit longer. Exhale, 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 exhale. And 2 more. Breathing in. And exhale. So as you exhale, trying to bring that knee in a little bit closer. Finish off with 1 more, breathing in. And squeeze the ball behind the knee, because this is also going to be a little bit of a release, not only for the back line of the body, the hamstrings, but also the deep core line. And let's release the ball. Bring the right foot back onto the mat, the knee is bent, cross the left ankle over the right, and let's roll along the inner thigh on the left side. You can use one hand and support the head in the other, and just continue massaging from side to side and around. Keep going. 5 and 4
3, 2, and 1. Bring the ball back behind the knee on the left side. Extend the right leg. Link the fingers over the shin and breathe in. Push the hands away as you extend the shin out. Then exhale and bounce that knee to the chest. Good. Breathing in. And exhale. Keep dropping, keep exhaling. Rib cages down, drop down, drop down. 2 to go. Breathe in. And exhale. For the last one, breathing in. And exhale. And you can put the ball to the side. Let's have a big stretch. And yawn, lengthen everything out. And hug your knees into your chest. Cross the ankles and just hold on to the feet, rocking from side to side. Just loosen up around this area. Bring the legs side by side again and rock yourself onto your right side and around onto your hands and knees. We're now going to take that block and we're going to bring the block between the knees. You can use a cushion, you can use your soft reflex ball if you want to. Your hands are underneath your shoulders. Your feet, I want you to try and keep your feet side by side on the front of the feet, or you can curl your toes under. But try not to curl your toes under. Focus more on relaxing the neck. Sometimes you might cramp, a little bit of tension in the neck, but really focus on the breathing and trying to get into that relaxed state so you don't cramp around the feet or into the hamstrings. Okay, hands are under the shoulders. We're breathing into an arch. As you exhale, you're going to squeeze the block between the knees and you're going to push like you're pushing the heels of the hands away from the body, but you're just going to push them down into the mat and squeeze that block as much as you can so the knees are getting lighter. We're going to drop the knees if you've got them up and you're going to breathe in and open up again. As you exhale, start squeezing the block. You're pushing the heels of the hands into the mat and you're exhaling. Keep exhaling. Try exhale as long as you can. Exhale, 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 exhale. And release. Nice, slow, steady breath in through the nose. Use the release that we've done around the shoulder blades to wrap those rhomboids, those muscles that retract the shoulder blades around the spine. Keep the elbows straight. Then squeeze the block. Exhale. Lift the knees a little bit higher if you can. Push into the heels of the hands and bounce. If you are taking strain in the wrists, you can drop down onto the elbows. And here we go, breathing in. Open up to your arch. Squeeze and exhale. Now we're exhaling for a little bit longer. Exhale. Hopefully you can really feel that contraction around the diaphragm. Let's continue breathing in. As you exhale. We're going to do 4 more. Exhaling. Remember that lift is optional, but make sure you're pushing either the elbows or the heels of the hands into the mat, because that's going to help you engage those core muscles a little bit more easily. Bounce. Squeeze that block. 2 to go. Breathing in. And exhale. For the last one. Come on to the knees. Our next position, which we won't be using the block for, is one leg out to the side, knee bent, hands on the mat in front of you. Try relax that foot at the back, that supporting foot. Okay, we're going to keep the toes pointing forward with the same direction the fingers are going, and I want you, as we breathe in, you're going to arch in the back. So see it from this angle. You're going to arch the back. So my knee and my foot are in line. I'm opening up. Feel the lengthening along the inner thigh. Like we did earlier, you're going to round the spine, push into the heels of the hands, and come into a tuck position. Now the challenge is to squeeze the foot and the knee together. So you're squeezing in, engaging these deep core line muscles, pushing into the heels of the hands, so really coming into that contraction and opening up into your breath. So challenge yourself by continuing your exhalation, breathing in for 4 counts and then exhaling for up to 8 counts. Slowly let's arch and breathe in. As you exhale, squeeze the foot and the knee together. Push into the heels of the hands and round your spine. Breathing into arch. Start each movement from the lower back, arching, and then the head will follow. Exhale to your tuck. Round, squeeze, squeeze, and open up. Exhale. Into that tuck and breathing in, opening up, exhale, breathing in, continue going, breathing into that arch and exhaling. Breathing in and exhaling. Finish off with 2 more and exhaling. The last one and exhaling. Squeeze the foot and the knee together and release. We're going to go over to the other side, lengthening out, open up, keep the foot and the knee in line, breathing in, exhale, round, push into the hands and tuck. Squeeze the foot and the knee together and opening up. Exhale. Don't forget to push into the hands and round your spine. 3. And exhale. Here we go for 4. Opening up and exhale. Knee and foot, squeeze them together and keep going. Breathing into your arch and exhaling. Push and tuck. Keep exhaling. 3 to go. And exhaling. Breathing in For the last one. And back onto the knees. Taking your yoga block or your cushions, bring it in front of the underneath the right knee and curl your right toes under. We're in a lunge position. We're going to link the hands, reach the arms up next to the ears. In this position, still focusing on movement in the upper body or in the spine, breathing in, opening up. Hopefully in this next position, you're going to feel a nice stretch along the front of the leg as you exhale into this rounded position. And try and exhale for more than 4 counts. Open yourself up, start the movement from the tailbone, breathing in to that open position and exhale into your tuck. Okay, if this is too easy, we're going to add a lift with the knee. So as you breathe in, you're opening up. As you exhale, coming into that rounded position, you're going to bounce off the block. Keep exhaling. When you're ready to breathe in, drop your knee and open up. Now exhale and bounce. That's optional. Keep going. Here we go for 4. And exhale and bounce. So you finish your exhalation and then you challenge yourself to keep exhaling as you bounce off the block. 2 more. I think there are 3 more actually. Breathe in and exhale and bounce. Just 2 to go. Opening up and exhale and bounce. For your last one, opening up and exhale and bounce. Okay, stay here, push off the ball of your foot and just shake everything out. Turn yourself around. Hopefully that did challenge you a little bit. Bring that right foot in front, the left knee is on the block. Push into the ball of the left foot. Let's open up, linking the fingers. Breathe yourself in to that open position. Now as you exhale, round your spine and tuck there. Feeling that lengthening there. If you want to, you're going to come up and bounce off that knee or off the block. Here we go for 2. Breathing in and open up. Exhale and bounce. Breathing in. And bounce. For 4. And exhale. Halfway, let's keep going. And exhale. Last 2. Your last one. And exhale. And push off the ball of your foot and come up to standing. Just put the block to the side. We're going to use it in a minute. Stand lengthways on your mat.
breathe in, and as you exhale,
chin to your chest, round your spine, and roll down. Hang out there and bounce. Onto your hands and knees, and let's come into a seated position, lying in that supine position, either using your block or your cushions. You're going to push off the mat, lower back, and bring the block into the lower back. These blocks are quite soft, but if you're not comfortable in this position, you can work without the block or you can use some cushions. Bring your knees over your hips, and you see my tailbone is up and over the block. And make sure you've got space, you can move. So if you watch my position, my movement, I'm breathing in. And I'm going to take my hands onto the front of my knees, and I'm going to exhale. I'm going to use my hands to push. So I'm coming into a tuck position. So I don't want to use momentum in this next movement. It's breathing in, opening up to your arch, exhaling. You're pushing the hands or pushing the knees against the hands, creating resistance, and the knees are pointing up to the ceiling. So they're not coming over the chest, they're pushing up. Tucking here, engaging your glutes and the abdominals, making up that core. Let's breathe in, open up an arch. Exhale, push into that tuck position and lifting the knees up to the ceiling. Let's open up again. And exhale. And push and lift. Keep going. If you're not comfortable in that position with the block underneath, you can work without it, breathing in. And then exhaling into your tuck. And keep going, breathing into arch. And exhaling to your tuck. I'm going to continue with the block in the lower back. So you're breathing in and exhaling to your tuck. Keep going for 4 more. And exhale. And 3. And exhale. Keep exhaling, try and lengthen that exhalation. Last 2. And hopefully you're feeling that core temperature rising. Breathing in for the last 1. And exhale. And keeping the knees, well, one knee where it is, extend the other leg. And extend that leg. Again, if you're not comfortable with the block in the lower back, put some cushions in, or you can work without a block. And just what's nice about having something in that position, it opens the front line of the body, so it helps us lengthen a little bit more into the front line of the body. And this is a great position for the digestive system. Lie here. Extend the arms next to the ears, and you're going to just relax into this position as you slowly breathe in through the nose for 4 counts. As you exhale, try and exhale for a little bit longer. So you still want to feel that expansion around the rib cage. As you breathe in, that into your eccentric contraction, and as you exhale, the rib cage is dropping when those muscles are shortening into that concentric contraction. Keep going. And exhale. For the last 1. and exhale. Really let the lower back melt into the block and relax yourself as much as you can. And then just lie here, let your breathing normalize. Just relax as much as you can. Bend the knees when you're ready, bring your feet flat onto the mat and lift the lower back, release the block. Hug the knees into the chest and rock around onto your right side again and come up onto your hands and knees. From your hands and knees, push up into your pyramid or down dog, walk and lift your feet up or lift one heel at a time. From this position, push up into a pyramid or down dog and just walk through the feet. Push both heels into the mat and walk your hands to your feet. Slowly breathe yourself into a lifted position and just shake everything out. That movement is key, and if you don't use it, well, you lose it. Well done, and thank you for joining me.